Hello, my name is Garrett Trott. I'm University Librarian here at Corban University in Salem, Oregon, and I'm going to briefly address two questions. First, what is faith integration? And secondly, what does faith integration look like in library and information science? Now, I want to begin with two quotes that I feel should guide any dialogue in relation to faith integration. The first is by St. Augustine when he writes, "If you ask me what is the most essential element in the teaching and morality of Jesus Christ, I would answer you the first is humility, the second is humility, and the third is humility." Humility is crucial for Christianity, for relationships, professional endeavor, scholarship, and likewise for faith integration. It would be ironic to seek to integrate the Christian faith into LIS apart from humility. Now, humility does not necessarily mean abandoning convictions. It means holding them with an eagerness to be corrected, to face one's own depravity, and to truly listen. The second quote is from Abraham Kuyper, a Dutch statesman at the beginning of the 20th century. He stated, "There's not a square inch in the whole domain of our human existence over which Christ, who is sovereign over all, does not cry, 'Mine.'" When it comes to library information science, Jesus cries, "Mine." These convictions that Christ's reign extends over every domain of life and knowledge, and humility drive my pursuit for faith integration. Now, what is faith integration? Faith integration is the practice of striving to place every square inch of our human existence under the sovereignty of Christ. Placing every square inch of library and information science, its theories, methods, practices, technologies, and institutional roles under the gracious lordship of Jesus. Because Christ reigns over all, librarians cannot treat their work as neutral or sealed off from discipleship. Instead, our professional lives are one arena of many, of all, in which Christ calls us to obedience. There are many ways to approach this, and a wide variety of models of faith integration exist in the literature. Some models fit specific disciplines more naturally than others, and some tilt towards practice while others emphasize theory. Humility, again, is vital here. Though convictions about helpful models are unavoidable and necessary, humility prevents those convictions from hardening into an outright rejection of every other approach. Humility invites a posture of learning from multiple frameworks, even with convictions that are appropriate to what is true, good, and useful while remaining anchored in Scripture. One especially helpful model which I've come across is from David Clairbeau's work, Faith and Learning on the Edge. Clairbeau proposes a four-step process that I've practiced in LIS for almost 20 years. Those four steps being philosophical justification, prevailing paradigms, critique, and build. This model has shaped much of my research and reflection as I've sought to understand what it means to place every square inch of library information science under Christ's sovereignty. The first step, philosophical justification, asks, given the pragmatic, service-oriented character of LIS, where faith-based and secular practices often look functionally identical, is it viable or even necessary to develop a coherent Christian framework? Now, my answer to this is an emphatic yes, because motives and intentions matter, and the framework of a discipline helps expose intentions. In a Christian worldview, why we offer a particular service, teach a certain skill, or build a specific collection matters just as much as the visible outcome. Secondly, prevailing paradigms, and this asks what paradigms undergird the discipline. Even in a field that presents itself as pragmatic and service-oriented, hidden assumptions about truth, knowledge, people, and society shape how librarians define information. Which voices are preserved and which are marginalized? How are neutrality and access understood? And what counts as quote-unquote good service? Faith integration does not require mastering every philosophical system behind LIS. It does, however, require identifying the key paradigms at work and gaining a broad understanding of how they surface in LIS and its various aspects. Once these paradigms are recognized, the following steps are critique and build. Critique means weighing each framework's strengths and weaknesses in light of Scripture. Now, this does not imply rejecting a theory simply because it was developed by a non-Christian, nor accepting one simply because it is inclusive of Christian ideology. All truth is God's truth, and Christ's sovereignty over all domains means that whatever is genuinely true, whatever is just, whatever is commendable, ultimately belongs to God. Building means reconstructing our theories and practices on biblical and theological foundations, asking what library and information science would look like if our understanding of knowledge and information began with the fear of the Lord, if we treated every patron as an image bearer of God, and if love for our neighbor genuinely fueled our policies and interactions. I want to close with this. Faith integration in library information science, therefore, is not an abstract theory or private piety added on to otherwise neutral work. It is a practiced posture of humble obedience that seeks to bring every catalog record, reference interview, policy, and professional relationship under the lordship of Christ. Thank you.